Hi students, this is going to be a quick review of 2 ways to create shapes in Illustrator. First one we've practiced a bit, which is using the pen tool to create a path. So we can do single clicks to create jagged edges, like we talked about the other day. And also, in case it's something you plan to do for your project, are curved lines that we can use by clicking and dragging those anchor points instead. Last but not least, when you close your path, hovering over that initial anchor point until you see that little 0 or little O appear next to your pen tool, and you click to close the loop. Alright, so I have drawn a shape here, and then when I go to click on the selection tool, I have the ability to, whoop, away goes my path. This is a common rookie mistake. If this happens to you, don't panic. Hover until you see your line, click on it, and then go and check out your color swatches. Chances are you have transparency set for both your fill color and your line color. So you can simply click on your line color, switch it to black for now, and you're fine. Anyhow, so if we click and drag on our shape, we can see that as we hover, the center point of our object is being calculated by the software, and also we can move our shape so that our center point coincides with the center point that we have marked using our guides. So there we have it. The other way to create a shape is to use the shape tool, which you guys probably see as the rectangle. And when you look at many of these tools, you see they have these little triangles on the side, and that means that if you click and hold, there are other choices. So choose something besides a rectangle, either the polygon or the star, and let's click and drag, and that's going to allow us to make a star. And likewise, we are actually going to do the same thing we did with the random shape and make sure that we've aligned it to the middle. Now in my case, I made the star a little bit too big. And this actually works out nice because if you find that the shape that you made isn't the right size, obviously you can see that you can click and drag the edges, but if you click and drag, you can cause your shape to warp. So I'm going to do a Control-Z to undo. And some of you may have experienced before where if you hold down Shift on your keyboard while dragging, your object will keep its proportions. So I'm going to click again, and I'm going to move my star, making sure I drop that center point right on where those two guides intersect. And by doing this, I am ensuring that my shape is properly oriented around my center. Now if I send this to laser cut, these two paths are going to intersect each other. So just to be thorough, I'm going to make an adjustment to this path so that it's not touching the star. We can do that by going to that little white single selection tool, clicking the line once, and then grabbing the individual anchor points and adjusting their location and or the way that the handles are pointing to adjust the way that line runs. So there is my weird and wacky shape. So in the next tutorial, we'll talk a little bit about preparing this line for laser cutting to make sure that the machine will read it as a cut path.